Hi, and welcome to Joe Baker's Remedy Report, a show about bringing harmony to the world through economic innovations, health tips, increased awareness. The show's for entertainment purposes only. Wink as I go about experimenting on ways to bring health and wellness to your body. On today's show, as it says on the bottom, we'll be working on the liver using remote energetics. I will imagine energy constructs, which are experimental. You agree to forgive me for any ill effects, according to the FPL. What is the FPL? It's the Forgiveness Public License over at forgivenesspubliclicense.org. And we have a way for you to create a financial instrument bearing the value of what the damages might be. And that's kind of my goal here on this show is to stand up the on the series of shows, the whole program that I have done and so forth. Joseph William Baker is a registered trademark. Well, it's a service mark, registered service mark. All right. Well, we'll wait for some people to gather in, since we've had some people come in and have gone already. We've had endometriosis remedied with a tuning fork. Incredible pain, long-term pain. That's just one example. We'll get going here in a very short period of time. This is what I call torsion energy, torsion rings, and you might feel it if you're clairvoyant. If you've got a friend who's clairvoyant, show them this show and see what they say about the energetics of what I'm holding up here, what they are. This is made of copper. It's twisted copper, twisted counterclockwise, and it emanates light. Clairvoyants will tell you that these emanate light out in both directions, and it's a beneficial energy. We're going to work on your liver first with this. So I'm just going to imagine that you're standing here and that we're kind of running this over your liver. Your liver is in the center of it, and we are bringing this energy to it. I'm going to amplify this. There's a device. Slim Sperling called these AccuVac coils. Well, if it was straight, it would be an AccuVac coil. And but this is kind of a horseshoe shape, so it kind of circulates energy through there. So kind of point that at your. I'll move it over here. At your liver. What I've learned today is that the red light therapy that people use, that's so weird. That basket is on my shoulder. It appears to be. I'm just going to take it out of the scene. So I'm pointing this at that, and we are clearing your liver. This is easier for you guys to see it and to sense it and to think about it and to be open to it if you can see these tools. But I can imagine these tools and cause the same kinds of effects. Let me see. Are there any comments? Anybody saying anything? Are you feeling this? Getting a little relief in your liver? I hope. See if I can hold this right. You might ask, what kind of effects might you get that would be ill effects? Whenever there's healing work being done on people, there are side effects that happen, and it might be that later on you get a headache or something like that, um, uh, because our bodies are toxic, man. There's so much in them. Look, I'm even finding out that vitamin A is toxic to the body. So, you're eating liver, eggs, dairy products. Um, Man, you got to eat those in smaller amounts because they are toxic, and your body has accumulated a whole bunch of vitamin A, and it has bound with fats in your body, and that's why you can't get it. You can't lose weight because you got so much vitamin A locked up in the fat. So you need to start looking at how to restrict your diet so you're not eating so much vitamin A. Nutrition doctor dot or see no nutritiondetective.com is Garrett Smith, and he's doing shows about this. He's done like 78 weeks of shows, and he goes through tremendous resources, all these studies that have been done, and he shows it. He puts it out in front of you, and you can see that vitamin A is turning to Accutane and what else? I don't know. I've got notes on it. I've got some electronic notes, and I've got some notes here. Let's see. I'll go back a page. Vitamin A, retinol. I remembered it turns to retinol, various forms of retinol. Uh, and so you've got, I don't have those written here. It's kind of like an alcohol in the body. Anyway, they were talking about all this stuff, and they're talking about how difficult it is to detox the liver. Well, I happen to know I can help with the liver by doing these kinds of treatments to it. So now, what they told me, what they showed, one of the papers he showed was about using the red light therapy on the skin, on your brain. You can get these hats, if you call them hats, that go over your head, and they have near infrared lights. Some that are visible, some that are barely visible to the human eye, and that this helps people with like Alzheimer's and stuff. So it's difficult. You've got to start out slow and build up, and do one day on, maybe one day off. Just find out, when you get to a part that's a little too difficult for you to detox, to handle the detox effects, then you back off and come back. So here we go. Oh, I'm doing a show. Okay. So we're working on your liver, and one of my early reactions with this stuff that I did, I was staying at it was a difficult situation. It was kind of like a farmyard or something, and the lady of the house had liver toxicity problems, and I treated her with this. And I don't think they expected her to live much longer. And then, she's lived probably 15, 20 years since then. So I want to bring into this, whether Don's watching or not, Don Human. I think that's his name. He's one of the watchers of this show. And I'm just wanting to bring him in here, whether he's watching or not, to work on his liver. Now I'm going to get rid of the props, shall we say. Oh, here's another thing I can do. And I'll teach you guys to do it. And try it out, see if it works. Maybe maybe this is ridiculous and doesn't work at all. But I just, instead of sitting here all day holding this, I say, okay, begin recording. And end recording. And play that back, looping for 5 minutes. And then the energetic effects of that treatment continue for 5 more minutes. And we can do other things too. Like I'll say about that, increase, increase, increase. So if you felt something, you might feel it a little stronger. Great. So I want to say this, that there are different kinds of light, and not what you're accustomed to. I'm referring to not frequencies of light, but patterns, where it travels in swirls, in circles, and so forth. And I think that's the kind of light that these kind of devices are emitting. And the human brain is not typically wired to recognize those kinds of patterns. Like they used to talk about the American Indians, when they would see a pattern of a ship coming in from the ocean, they didn't know what to make of it, so they didn't see it. And so likewise, these kinds of patterns of light traveling in swirls are not something we typically think of. But nonetheless, they may play a role in activating enzymes in your body to help deal with some of the toxic mess that's in there. So that's kind of the hunch I'm going on today. And I'm kind of working on my liver, because we're really stirring things up a little bit. I hope that's the plan. All right, now I'm going to shift. I'm going to imagine this kind of ring, only it'll be made perfectly, and the wire will be a 1/2 inch thick, and it will be 8 cubits long. A cubit is like the distance from your elbow to up here. And it's not my arm that's the cubit. It's one of the pharaohs from Egypt, and it's called a sacred cubit. And it's going to be 8 of those, the length, building into the circumference of this ring. And I'll put that there and get the energetics spinning in the wires. The crazy thing about this is that it's the same wire run back on itself. And that's why you get this twisted nature to it. And when a magnetic field interacts with this, interposes, it makes electrical flow. Electrons flow this way in one of the wires and this way in the other wire. So you get this nullification effect because they're going both ways. And so there's a nullification of part of it, but then there's still something left over. The essence of the energy is left over, and that's kind of what we're playing with here. So we got that ring, pushing it out, pushing you and the ring out 7 feet out, And then I might as well use this prop. And then I'm pointing it at it and sending you energy. Now, the farther away you get from me, the stronger the effects are. It's kind of I don't know, an inverse type of effect. Okay, so I'm gonna raise the ring up to the top of your liver and moving it down to the bottom of the liver, back to the top, and back down. Can anybody feel that? You might feel like pins and needles, that type of thing. Up. Everybody's being kind of quiet in the comments today. Where are you guys from? All right, and I'm going to start a recording of this. Begin recording. End recording. Play that recording back, for looping for 5 minutes. All right, so there you go on that. Now I'm going to instantiate another copy of you here, and this is ozone gas, and I'm going to put the ozone gas. I'm going to superimpose it on your liver. And ozone gas has a powerful detoxifying effect. Some will call it a toxin itself, but I don't think so. It has the ability to oxidize in a very powerful way. Yeah, one of the problems with a lot of people's, the bile ducts and these types of things, they get kind of impeded or stuck or clogged, and then the bile backs up into your body, and the liver is meant to handle the most toxic stuff that's in your body, collects there, and then it's designed to pass out, through the fecal matter. All right, end recording. Play this recording back continuously, looping for 5 minutes. So there's my. So let's see if you can feel that. Does anybody feel any the effects of what I'm doing? I mean, I've had a lot of effects. A lot of people feel these things a lot of times. So I'm going to also use a tuning fork. All right. So we got the ozone going there. I'm going to use the same instantiation of you here. We've got a copy of you over there, 7 feet away, getting that going until the 5 minutes is up. And well, we had one going here. Here we go. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too loud. I've got the microphone on a fixed amplitude. The coherent energy of a tuning fork coming to your liver. How wonderful. And I think the scientific hypothesis of what's going on here is that sound carries a plasmatic energy to it. So that's an electrical, probably has even magnetic properties to it. And I don't know, just the idea of the transposition of me thinking about your liver being here allows me to create a sort of wormhole or a connection to you. All right, let's begin the recording of this treatment. And it's our hope that these energies will help stimulate stem cells for regrowth of the liver, renewal of cells, and to assist in clearing the bile ducts and all those ducts that all this has to work through. Sending a little love and harmony to your liver. Hi, Nancy, from Indiana. How about that? Great. So we've got that going. Thank you for commenting and being part of the show. What else is next here? So we've got that going. End recording. Play that recording, that therapy back, repeating for 5 minutes. Okay. Now let's use the tuning fork in a different way and work on the biofield of the liver, starting at 6 feet out from both sides of you. 6 feet, 5 feet. Ooh, something's there. All right, who's feeling that? About 5 feet, 3 inches out on one of the sides of your biofield. I can feel something on my wrist. It's like a shadow or something passing on my wrist. 6 feet. Didn't feel it this time. 5 feet. 4 feet. 3 feet. 2 feet. 1 foot. 0. All right. We're kind of into this. Let's begin recording of this. 6 feet. 5 feet. 4 feet. 3 feet. 2 feet. 1 foot. 0. End recording. Play that back, looping it for 5 minutes. Nancy says, Doc says my liver is enlarged. Ugh. Yeah. Just got to figure out how to get it to be able to get to clear out and stuff. And I'm really, I'm trying to bring some of the techniques that I know that I think might work well for it. And but I also want you to go and listen to Nutrition Detective. And this is not something that usually happens overnight. Is when he talks about it, it's something that takes a long time, 8, 9 months to correct. And you've got to understand what you're eating in your normal diet that isn't helping you. So, restricting down, not like totally eliminating these things, but know that when you eat them, they are contributing to the vitamin A toxicity in your body. Oh, wow. This is an interesting thing. Hi, Sadiq Thomas from Cape Town, South Africa. Well, pleased to have you watching the show. Thank you for saying hi. And Nancy says, I eat pickled beets. Always drink the juice also. Interesting. He warns of everything that's yellow. Just as a general rule, a lot of the yellow stuff seems to be a problem. I don't know about lemons, though. I would think lemons would be great. There are these people who have the liver purges and stuff. There's the idea of doing an enema with organic coffee. The mode of operation there is that the caffeine transfers from the colon into the portal vein, and the portal vein picks up all this caffeine, and it's right there by the liver, so it delivers it to the liver. The liver gets excited and it squeezes, and so then a lot of stuff in the liver gets flushed out, and so that's probably a good thing to try. I don't know. I was in a chat room, and the guy says he does it. He's done it like 20 times, and he doesn't really notice much. But they're not real fond of coffee in that chat room either. But do you find that the pickled beets are helping? Is that something we should consider for our diets when working on the liver? Thank you, Nancy. All right. What else can we do here? Let's continue with the tuning fork on the biofield of the liver. This kind of work I've done on the kidneys, specifically focusing on the kidneys, and we've had one viewer who had scientific proof. She went back to her kidney specialist, and she went from I think it was the top of level 2 kidney failure down to the top of level 3 kidney failure down to the bottom of level 3 kidney failure. The only thing she did was listen to the show, and we did these soundings with the tuning fork off the side of her. Nancy says, I heard years ago it's the only liver cleaner. I'm old school. Good. Well, we've forgotten a lot of stuff, so I'm glad that you're bringing it back to us. I think my dad likes to take beet juice. All right, here we go. 6 feet. Liver, 5 feet. If anybody feels something, 4 feet. Make note of the foot marker. 3 feet, 2 foot, 1 foot, and 0. Because if there was a trauma along the timeline of your life, it'll correspond on here and you'll feel it. I think what I'll do, instead of marking off from those feet, we'll go with a number, and we'll go more slowly, and we'll range it so that the beginning of your life is out at, let's say, 25. No, we'll start at 0, and we'll go up to the present, which will be 25. Oh, you felt a bulging feeling at 2 feet. All right, let's work on that. We'll stay on the old range of 6 feet. So 2 feet. One foot, 9 inches, 10, 11, 12. So it's 2 foot 1, 2, 3 inches. I hope you don't mind, Nancy. If this works out, you can become one of our new poster children for the for the show. Oh, she says, "Ouch." All right. I'll get something that makes it more gentle. In the meantime, what you can do is to drink some water. And maybe you're not ready for this. You know, if this is too strong of a detox for you, the next couple days could be challenging. But I assure you that I assure you that I feel that working on this particular spot we found where you are experiencing that pain we can clear that. We can clear that so you don't feel anything there. You won't feel the bulging. You won't feel the ouch. And your body will be able to kind of have a new start at being able to heal properly, because we're going to clear out some of that trauma that's there. This is a black tourmaline stone. It's polished, so you don't see the ridges that are normally on it. And you can take this. Imagine you take it. I'll pass it over the camera. Here you go. And there you go. And you have a copy of it now, and you can set it a certain place or whatever. But if you hold it right above your navel, a little bit up maybe 2 inches above your navel, and you hold it there, and I go over that area again with the tuning fork, you'll still feel a sensation, but it won't have the pain that you just did. Let's try that again. I want to prove it, if you don't mind. I'll only do it for a very short period of time, like maybe 15 seconds. Here we go. 2 feet. Put that stone over your navel, and then take it away and see if you can feel the difference. There we go. All right, now I'll put the stone on my end, just to be sure we're being gentle. It helps to go without the stone to find out where the problems are in the timeline. All right, here we go. 2 feet, 2 feet. Farther away, closer to your body. Farther away, closer to your body. Farther away, closer to your body. I'm moving about 6 inches back and forth. How's that, Nancy? Two feet. Two feet. She says, no pain, little pressure. Great. This is 1 feet 9 inches, 10 inches, 11 inches, 12 inches, which is 2 feet, 2 feet, 2 foot 1 inch, 2 foot 2 inches, 2 foot 3 inches, 2 foot 4 inches. Maybe you can tell me which inch mark it is. We'll start at wait a minute, I think I did that backwards. 1 foot 9 is over here. No. 1 foot 9 is here, going backwards. Okay. 2 feet. Um, 1 foot 9, 1 foot 8. No. 1 foot 11, 1 foot 10, 1 foot 9 inches, 1 foot 8 inches, 1 foot 7 inches, 1 foot 6 inches. And it's important so we hone in exactly where you feel that pain the most, because that's where we're going to focus. And if we can spend all our time in that one spot and in and around it, then we'll clear it much quicker. Okay, 2 feet, 2 feet, and let's go backwards. 2 feet, 1 inches, 2 foot 2 inches, 2 foot 3 inches, 2 foot 3 inches, 2 inches, 2 foot 1 inch, 2 foot 11, 1 foot 11 inches, 1 foot 10 inches, 1 foot 9 inches. Okay. 2 feet. Back up. 2 feet 3 inches, 2 foot 2 inches, 2 foot 1 inch, 2 foot, 1 foot 11 inches, 1 foot 10 inches, 1 foot 9 inch, 1 foot 8 inches, 1 foot 8 inches, 1 foot 9, 1 foot 10, 1 foot 11, 1 foot 12, 2 inches, 2 foot 1 inch, 2 foot 2 inches, 2 foot 3 inches. Did we lose you? Can you tell me where you feel it? All right. Maybe you're feeling it all through that whole area. It could be a time in your life. So we're thinking back to the first. Let's say if you're 60 years old, this would be when you were about 20. There would have been something that happened in your life around 20 years old. If you're 30 years old, this would have been when you were around 10. So it's about a third. Maybe a little. I'm presupposing. Let's see, 2 feet. Actually, we're looking at the 5 feet is the length of the life. I started out at 6, so I'm kind of going back into the gestation and a little bit into the past life when I'm starting. Yeah, this stuff goes to past lives too. So we'll keep working on it. And we want Nancy Ebright, just in case she's disconnected. 2 feet 3 inches. 2 feet 2 inches. 2 foot 1 inch. 2 feet 1 foot 11 inches. 1 foot 10. 1 foot 9. 1 foot 8. 1'7", 1'6", 2 foot 2 inches, 2 foot, oh, 1 inch, 2 feet, 1'11", 1'10", 1'9", 1'8". She says it feels like the movement of a child in entire liver. I'm 61, lost 3 babies at age 27. Oh, I'm so sorry. Movement of a child. So we could tap into some emotions here, where it's try to realize or let people around you know that if you start crying or whatever, that we're going to use it cathartically to kind of help clear this, and it might take 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll certainly stick with you for that, and we'll clear this. And this is probably the root cause of some of your liver problems, aside from all the poisoning and stuff that's in the diet. So, kind of balancing out things here. All right. Oh, there's another comment. I have 3 beautiful kids now and 11 grandchildren. Re-blessed. How nice. How nice. Do you have a particular spot in here? Or is the whole range that I'm working, you feel it from beginning to end? 2 feet 3 inches, 2 foot 2, 2 foot 1, 2 feet, 1'11", 1'10", 1'9", 1'8". I'm doing liver area. 2 feet 3 inches, 2 foot 1 inch, 2 foot 2, 2 foot 2, 2 foot 1, 2 feet, 1'11", 1'10". I'm just going to sweep through here, trying to get you to give me a number or particular location on there. But maybe the surprise of it all is just keeping you from being able to communicate on this. And now that we've done this a little bit, I'm going to take the rock off, the stone, the black tourmaline, and let's see how, if we can be brave. Oh, all right, 1'10", 1 foot 10 inches to 1 foot 20 inches. Great. So that's how we do this, in case anybody else is watching. So let's see, 1 foot. I guess that would be 12. All right, here we go. 2 feet, 1'11", 1'10". Just keep working in this area. And I still have the tourmaline stone on, but maybe you can take it off of your navel if you were doing that and see if you can manage. But now that we're honing in on it, I'll use the stone a little bit here to kind of make it easier on us. This is going to be great because you'll have increased liver function performance. And I've been wanting to find somebody to work on for the liver. Now I'll have to update my flyer. All right, let's try it without the stone now. We're going to be brave just for about 10 seconds. and we'll back off. I'll go put the stone back on, and you let me know if this is okay to proceed. Okay. Whew. Yeah, I think that was strong. I'll put the stone back on. Here we go. Just want to make a note of your name, Nancy. Liver enlarged. Lost 3 children at age 27. When you say you lost them, was it like you were carrying them and the pregnancy didn't go through, or were they, alive and about and they died? I mean, born. They were born and living, and it was just the sorrow of the loss at that age. And then this is at 1 foot 10 inches through 1 foot 12 inches, 2 feet. Needed tourmaline stone. And today's date is February 3rd. You might want to remember that, because you'll want to come back and watch this episode again, Nancy, because as you watch it again and again and again, it retreats your liver. And since we're going in so close, I understand miscarried. Let's see. Here's another comment. Light shock pain to the right pelvic, to butt cheek. Still some pressure. Yes, twins were 5 months, and one lost at 5 months. Oh, so sorry. Okay. What year would that have been? The reason I ask is because when we are doing this work, it's it might work for someone else who had an injury in that same year, so we can point them toward the same treatment. And anyway, here we go, continuing. Thank you for your patience. 2 feet. One of the things to know, on 1979 and 1976, she writes, one of the things to know is that it's important that pregnant mothers especially restrict their vitamin A intake, because it is, it can, when the children come out jaundiced, that's because they're they're loaded up with too much vitamin A, and it's a toxic thing. So here we go. Continuing. And that leads to birth defects as well, according to the nutrition detective, Dr. Garrett Smith. I have all kinds of ideas about what these traumatic um, events in our lives and this distortion field that we have here that we're working through. Now, some of you might be able to hear the emotion from the tuning fork. This was a miscarriage, and we are, the more that we hear it, and we sort of help Nancy's soul, or there's something about it that becomes very cathartic when it's actually expressed. And it's not like you can express it in words, it's feelings. I hope the fork is the fork distorting? Is it too loud? Or I hope it sounds okay when you guys are listening. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's just uncomfortable. The true effect is here, what I'm doing. 2 feet. 2 feet. Back to 1 foot 10 inches. Water's a good thing to drink. Um, Nancy, you'll want to watch your balance today. Maybe for about 3 or 4 hours, just be mindful that you've been carrying all of this energy, this distortion energy in your body. You've been carrying it off to the side of your hips, where the side of your liver is a little higher. So it's about 2 feet off. So imagine holding a bag of groceries off to the side, on the right side over here, and you've been carrying that around all this time. Well, once I move that energy in to your chakra, in there for your liver, it won't be out there anymore. And so all this energy that normally orbits your body will be able to flow properly and really well. And you're crying because it's processing it, and we'll keep working on it. Crying is your subconscious's ability to process loss and sadness. And sometimes that takes time. I worked with a woman who had this a problem where it made her cry, and that goes back to when she was a child and people were pulling her around by her hand, by her arm and stuff, and she didn't like it. And but they made her do it, and it made her cry. Each of us has a beautiful template of a human expression inside, and then yet we have these traumas that happen. They're distortions and all. And what we're really doing today is we're polishing. I like to say we're polishing your soul in a way. You know how you drive around, you got a freshly washed and waxed car, and it looks beautiful. It gleams in the sun. We're kind of dealing with some of the things that haven't been totally resolved yet in your life, and we're doing it at a rapid pace. Let's see, it's 15 minutes past the hour right now, so we'll continue this. I'm sure you'll be done crying by 2:30 at the most. 'Let's all be sending love and compassion to Nancy. Kind of cradle her in our mind. Two feet back. 1 foot 10 inches off the sides of Nancy's liver. Anybody else who's listening, you're getting a, 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 some intense clearing of a certain spot of your timeline on the liver. It's so nice to be doing this show today. I haven't been doing a show much lately. Nancy, you might think about yourself at that earlier age of 27 and 25 years old. And I want you to think about holding your younger self and supporting her and letting her know that you won't let this happen again, that this is, that you're supporting her and hugging her and helping her through all of this as if you had a time window to be able to meet yourself back then. We'll continue on this, but I just wanted to give you that idea. It's a very strong way to reach in and support yourself. And we're all here helping you with that. There's 5 of us in the room, 6 if you count me. And there'll probably be others that are watching this in the future that are helping as well. I believe we're all connected. And if we can support one of us who's weak or needing some help, that it helps lift all of us in some way. It certainly doesn't harm anybody. And sometimes we just need to help someone who needs it. That's the basis of a lot of the economics ideas that I talk about with forgiveness capital and remedy coin, anti-money. When things change, give us a little status report of how we're doing on this. And maybe we can try taking the stone off again. We'll get through it faster if the stone isn't on. That's my gut feeling about it. Feet, 1 foot 11 inches, 1 foot 10 inches, 1 foot 9, 10, 11, 2 feet, 2 foot 1 inch. Maybe you can share this episode with your doctor too. I'd love to have you guys, maybe him on as a guest. Feels like it squeezed my liver. I think it's Ayurvedic medicine, or they teach that we have multiple bodies, that we have a pain body, we have an emotion body. I think there's 5 of them, and I don't know what they all are. Or I could probably figure it out. Anyway, The thing is that in those other bodies, we have maybe anomalies in there, and these things might press against, uh, you know, so you feel a sensation in your liver, you know. Are you confident? Can we try it without the stone? I'd like to do it without the stone. I'm going to set it down over here, and we'll see what it feels like now when we don't have it. I'll do it. I'd like to hear from you right away after. I'll do it for 5 seconds. I know there's a little delay when I'm broadcasting and it comes out to you and then comes back to me. I'm putting the stone back on, but we can make a lot more progress with the stone off. But I know some people, if it's something really tragic, it can be like nothing. Oh, has the crying stopped? Wow, you didn't feel anything with the stone off. Great. 2 feet. 1 foot 9 inches. 10 inches. 11 inches. 2 feet. 2 foot 1. 2 feet. Oh, I didn't put that on the screen. She said nothing. So don't go away. There's still another step to do. It doesn't take long. What else does it say here? Crying emotion calmed. Great. Sometimes these things can lead to people having, like panic attacks, or could have led to panic attacks, or just, waking up crying or something like that. And you may find that you don't have that kind of thing anymore happening. um, let's see, 2 feet. Isn't it remarkable that this is that you had such an effect at this spot and now you don't? All right, so there's all this energy that we've dislodged, and now I'm going to use this tool as a magnet, and I'm going to bring it back, and you're going to help. You're going to breathe deeply, in and out, in and out, a little slower than that, and and this will help to exhale the toxins, and it'll help to bring in the energy from the energy that's been dislodged or it's been out here. So I'll walk you through it. Here we go. 6 feet. Click, drag, collect. 5 feet. 4 feet. 3 feet. 2 foot. 1 foot. 0. And release. And now breathe in deeply. Exhale. Then breathe in. We're going to do this about 4 times. And exhale. In and exhale. And exhale. One more time. Exhale. Good. I think we'll do that one more time. Because there was so much energy out there, I want to make sure we catch it all. And I'm going to start at 3. I'm going to start at 2.5 feet and then work my way in. 2.5 feet. Click, drag, collect. 2 feet. 1 foot, 0. Release to the liver. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. We'll keep doing this till the tuning fork stops. Breathe in. And exhale. I had a friend, he's clairvoyant. He could see light on the end of the tuning fork when I was working on his sister, and it went right into her. And exhale. It's her own energy that I've collected from her own biofield. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be able to have your energy working for you more correctly and in the correct patterns it's supposed to do. Wow. So how are you feeling, Nancy? This has been a big day for you. Oh, my goodness. We've been doing a practice called biofield tuning. Your arm dropped lifeless. Wow. Let's work on your arm then. Is it your left arm? Your right arm, I suppose. You mean it's just really relaxed or you can't move it? Anyway, I'll work on both arms. As if they're just hanging down straight. Sorry, I know that's probably loud. Okay, so I got that. You said little pain in your left temple, very relaxed. Spinal stenosis. Is your arm able to move? I want to know that your arm is able to move. You can breathe deeper now. Yeah, last night I noticed that I could breathe easier. And that's a nice thing. And breathing is what helps get the toxins out of your body, also with peeing and pooping and all that. So, and now with the liver being able to function a little better, maybe we can. She says, "Oh, yes, I was that relaxed, focusing." And your arm is, can you say your arm is okay? I'm worried about your arm. I'll work on your temples. Thank you, Nancy. It's really nice to. She says, yes, it was just that drained, relaxed. Okay, that's what you meant when you said your arm had dropped to lifelessness, whatever. Just deeply relaxed. Okay. Yes, you might sleep really well from all of this. And again, there's all these different, all these different prescription medications, they give us and all this kind of stuff. And hard to say, but you might want to revisit, with your doctor and just tell them, hey, I had this work done, and can we look at what the effects are? Do I need to continue my medications? I mean, would it be wrong to take the medications if I'm, if my liver is starting to, fix itself? She says, amen, thank you. And my helpers, I take no medicine. I fired him 3 years ago. Wow, great. Well, thank you, Nancy. And thank you all for tuning in and today's show. And I'd like to do maybe an appreciation certificate you could do, or I'll put my PayPal address up here. I even have like a mailing address I could give you if you'd like to send a donation or anything. If you're strapped and you can't, I understand. It's not a thing, but I think it's a good thing to somehow show gratitude, and maybe you could go back through the show and share the episode out to your friends and family, and make a little comment and say, this is a show where it really worked on my liver. I really felt tangible effects. So this is a PayPal address, and I'll also put my a mailing address. Let's see, is the address. Just a mailbox that I have set up. And, there it is. Joseph William Baker, 1930 Village Center Circle, number 34444, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89134. That's a traveling mailbox that I set up for all my commerce and stuff. And I actually have a bunch of affiliates, and they are, and Traveling Mailbox is one of them, or I'm an affiliate of theirs, I should say. And if you ever want to get a mailbox that you can check over the internet, like a postal mail, from the mail from the post office delivered to this box, and then you can control it remotely. It's kind of cool. But anyway, it cost me about $10 to deposit a check that way. So actually, it can be cheaper now. I've got a method, but it just takes me about an extra 10 days to receive mail this way. But anyway, so that's an address. This show is a production of, let's see, forgivenesscapital.com. And I have an affiliates thing up there. If you're interested in the traveling mailbox, there's a link there. All kinds of things I have in there. The G. Edward Griffin does his Red Pill Expo every now and then. I've got an affiliate link for that. And, cryptocurrencies and all this and that. Oh, there's some more comments I haven't seen yet. Let's go back to the comments. Nancy writes, I am a no GMO, no antibiotics, no junk in my body. Thank you for today. You bet. And, sorry. Put that on the screen. And then my tinnitus has stopped ringing for the first time in a couple of years. Are you kidding me, Nancy? I have tinnitus. I've had it for like 30 years. And so this is interesting. This is very interesting. I wonder if it happened when I was working on your temples or when I was working on your liver. She says, Holy Mother, Mary of God. Holy Mother, Mary of God. Yeah. Swear to Father God. On the temples. Wow. Oh, this is exciting. I'm not sure everybody is wired the same way. It may not work for other people, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to do a show for clearing tinnitus. First, I'm going to listen back to it myself and treat myself. This is the way this works. I do these energy things. Somehow it gets recorded, and the recording is a connection to the actual therapy. And so, people can watch this stuff, share it far and wide, man. And there's, ways you can clip out when you want to share something. I forget what it's called in Facebook, and YouTube is called clipping. And you clip out your favorite section of the show, and then you put it on, you put it out there. I'm so happy. I haven't done these shows in a long time, and they used to really make me happy to do them, and I've forgotten about just how much excitement I derive from doing this work. Great. So you're feeling better and all this. Please, maybe make a page in your notes and write down the things that you've experienced today and the things you'll be experiencing the next couple days as a result of all of this. And maybe you could tell me more about. She says, you're going to make me cry, dude. Again, I just started meditation a week ago. I've been feeling like crap and trust no doctors in the world right now. I know. Unless you absolutely have to, it's very difficult to trust doctors because they're being forced to do things even they don't agree with. So, their income depends on it. Isn't it interesting? Here I'm freely offering these kinds of things to people and, creating results that doctors can't give. tinnitus. What kind of tinnitus did you have? Did you have like the sound of trains, or did you have the pitch? Um, can you describe your tinnitus for us? I'm feeling a little cold. Maybe somebody's coming to visit me. No, there's no heat in this room until I open the door up again. Oh, she said a tore eardrum, not repairable. When did that happen? We'll work on your ear a little bit. See if we can get the body to repair itself. I wonder if the eardrum is related to your liver problem. Like maybe the liver was blocking. The problem with the liver might have blocked the eardrum from repairing. I don't know if eardrums can repair, but I think I have wisdom teeth that regrew in, all the energy work I do and work with ozone and all that stuff. 7 to 8 years ago, I used a darn bobby pin to remove wax and it went in too far. Oh yeah, I've done that. I mean, with the bobby pin, but I don't think I ever went in too far. Whew. Yikes. All right, 7 to 8 years ago. So we'll say 8 years ago, and we'll work up to 7 years. 8 to 7. Right. 8 years ago on the eardrums of Nancy Ebright. Seven to 8. Kind of go over that a little bit. All right. 7. We'll start a little earlier, about 6 3/4. 6 3/4. 7 years. 7.5. 8 years. And a little more. Wait, that's backwards, isn't it? I need to go from 8 years ago. A little more than 8 years ago. 8 years. Seven years. 8 years. And back it up a more. 8 years. 7. Maybe that whole range. What do you think about your ears? Is this kind of working? Wow. And you had tinnitus for this is the first relief you've had in a couple of years. First relief in a couple of years. From from a short blast. This is 144 hertz of tuning fork. To the temples. Because you mentioned that after the therapy you felt some pressure in your temples. I think that's what you said. You felt. Holy Mother Mary, God! I thought that was great. Put that on the screen. And you had spinal stenosis. I have to write that down too. So we need to work on that spinal stenosis stuff too. Just going up and down the spine, I think, will help. But I really want you to try to get onto the get with this. Follow this guy with me, nutritiondetective.com, Dr. Garrett Smith. I'll put that link in the chat room so you can follow it. I think I've got his name right. I'm all new to what he's doing, and I'm not endorsing or saying everything he's talking about is right or whatever, but I follow some very knowledgeable people with keen insights and intuition, and Dr. Paula Dwitsky, and I know I'm not saying her last name right. Um, she she does a lot of work with ozone gas, and in healing the body. I think the first person who uses ozone gas remotely on people, so that's kind of an interesting thing. It's, let's see, and I want to back up. I want to back up to the beginning of the show and set the intention for this therapy to be available to work on Star Hills, Earthka Star Hills. She's a friend of mine, and she usually can tune into these things, but um, she's suffering, some mold toxicity issues in her life, and she started eating some of this liver, and I think the liver is high in vitamin A, and well, that's just more poison and stuff. So eardrum. It's interesting that we said here light shock to the. This is going back quite a ways in the show. Light shock pain to the right pelvic. So let's work on that right pelvic area a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. You're facing away from me here. I'll kind of work on that area. I know I've got some in my left pelvic area. Just a pain that's over there. Whew. there's that. But I was looking for this thing, especially what you said. Here, you said, this is what you said. Little pain in left temple, very relaxed. I have spinal stenosis. And that led me to work on your temples. And when I do that, I imagine two copies of you, because you said left temple, but usually people don't describe left or right. So I get in the habit of making two copies of your head and have them superimpose a little bit so that when I work on one spot, it's affecting both temples. Maybe there was something going on there because I had two copies of you and I'm, sourcing two vibrations on both sides of your head at the same time that are in phase and in unique, they're totally in phase, locked in phase with each other because they are the same tone. It's the same tuning fork. And I know this sounds weird, but this is how I do it. My brain, it's like an operator and it's doing switching and patching all these frequencies and vibrations sources and pairing them with a part of your body or multiple parts of your body. So that might be why. Oh, you lost the signal for about 2 minutes. Okay. So I'm just hypothesizing why the tinnitus resolved. It's because the tuning fork was literally in both of your temples at the same time, emanating the very same frequency. And that probably was an overdrive to the, whatever part of your auditory part of your brain that, is picking up on these signals. I'm going to do it to myself here for a second. I'll just imagine I'm in front of myself here, two copies of myself, and there's the overlap of the left and the right at the same place for the temple. I'm definitely feeling some pressure in my ears. It didn't stop my tinnitus though. But this is that guy, nutritiondetective.com, Dr. Garrett Smith. For your spinal stenosis, I think if you get on this restricted vitamin A diet, let me write that down. And she says, do it. Take your glasses off so it won't interfere. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do it in front of myself. It's harder to work on yourself. Outstanding. It's been a great show. Um, Joe Baker's Remedy Report is brought to you by the by forgivenesscapital.com, where we believe in the infinite value of every human being, everyone here. So, and we issue like money. We're working on creating markets for money that we issue out of appreciation or that corresponds to work done, and then we're teaching the world to, kind of like how I'm helping to bring up one person. We have we can do this economically by recognizing the value of this kind of money, and we don't. It doesn't have to be a burden on us, because it's kind of like accepting, monopoly money or something. That's the way some people would think of it. But if we do a transaction, say for $100, we try to get the merchant to accept maybe 1% of that in forgiveness money. You can think of it as a coupon or a discount. But in actual fact, we'll, anyway, it's very complex and all that. And I just want you to get that little touch. That's enough to give you an idea of what it is. But in essence, if we can move this along, progress it far enough along, we'll have an inheritance for everybody. Each person will have an inheritance of, millions and millions of dollars. And we'll be able to supersede all this stuff. Send me your information to my email. I have $1 for this blessed relief. Okay. Thank you, Nancy. I will send you an email. Thanks, everybody. It's been a great show. Thank you very much, Nancy, for this experience with us, even crying and all. I know you went through a lot back then, and when it happened, and I just hope you'll keep a journal and write down a lot of the things, because there'll be a lot of things that change in your life because of this, what we've done here. And I think it'll make very interesting and persuasive material for the future when we talk to other people about this kind of thing. All right. With that, I'll put that PayPal address up in case anybody else wants to support my work. I've been pretty much out of work for the last 7 or 8 years because of lies that were told about me by a county sheriff, and all this kind of court stuff that shows up on background checks. I was making over $100,000 a year as a systems administrator, and then do a job transition, and pending a background check, and then that background check really messed me up. And well, you can pray for me or whatever, or send intentions, whatever you like to do, so that I can get that all cleared up. Nobody's harmed or injured in any way from the things I've done, so it's or didn't do. Anyway, thanks so much. I'm going to end the show. Bye for now.